On June 18, 2019, Facebook announced Libra. It is a virtual currency or cryptocurrency, even if some people don't agree with that definition. In Facebook's vision, Libra should become a global currency for billions of people, especially those in developing countries who have no access to banks or financial services. The idea is that Libra would be like digital money, which you can transfer to other people or simply use to buy stuff. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is not doing this alone. A bunch of Silicon Valley hotshots are also on board with the plan. Libra will be governed by the Libra Association, a Swiss group including 28 members, among which Facebook subsidiary Calibra, Uber, PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, Spotify, and many other household names in technology and finance. So, how will this work? Libra's white paper, a sort of technical manifesto, says it will run on a blockchain. Again, that is a controversial definition in some quarters. So, quick rough explainer, a blockchain is the infrastructure on which cryptocurrency payments take place. It is a digital, unchangeable record of all the payments ever made in a given cryptocurrency. Here's a crucial thing. A blockchain is decentralized. The transactions are processed and verified by a swarm of independent computers rather than by a single referee or central bank. Those independent computers are called nodes. That decentralized structure is intended to enhance security, as there is no single entity to be hacked, and also to guarantee that governments can't block transactions simply by browbeating a central authority. It is a pretty libertarian, anti-state, anti-bank tool. The first blockchain ever is, of course, the one underpinning Bitcoin, the original cryptocurrency. But the Libra blockchain is not decentralized the way Bitcoin is. On the Bitcoin blockchain, anyone can theoretically run a node, even if that's expensive. In contrast, Libra's nodes will be run only from the servers of the Libra Association's members, that is, Facebook, Uber, PayPal, and the others. Now, none of these companies will individually have much of a say on how payments are processed and verified. It will be a collective effort, which is good, according to the blockchain ethos. Still, the more libertarian cryptocurrency fans resent that Libra will be controlled by a club of mega corporations. They also fear that the Libra Association could buckle under pressure if, for instance, a government ordered it to block a transaction. Facebook's official reason for this makeup is that a fully decentralized model would not be powerful or fast enough to deliver the global financial infrastructure Libra aspires to become. The issue of scale is one of the main challenges confronting decentralized cryptocurrencies. Decentralization makes the system less vulnerable to hacks or shutdowns, but takes time. The Bitcoin blockchain, for instance, can only process about 7 payments per second. By comparison, the centralized Visa payment network can support up to 24,000 payments per second. Initially, Libra should be able to handle about 1,000 transactions per second. The white paper says, over the next 5 years, Libra will shift from the current proposed model, also called permissioned blockchain, to a totally decentralized or permissionless blockchain. Of course, there's no guarantee that will ever happen. Here's another issue Facebook says it is tackling. One big problem with cryptocurrencies is that the value can be quite fickle. Over the course of 2017, the price of Bitcoin swung between $900 and $20,000. That is great news if you are a speculator, but it's not ideal if you want to launch a global payment network for Facebook's 2.4 billion users. That's why Libra has been designed as a so-called stablecoin. That means the value of Libra will be tied to the value of real-world assets. Essentially, the Libra Association will store a basket of currencies like dollars, pounds, and low-risk government securities. The value of this basket will determine the value of all the Libra units in circulation. Every time a user trades cash for Libra through an exchange, that cash will be added to the Libra Association's reserves. At this stage, there is not much else we know about Libra. We do know that Facebook Calibra will launch a Libra wallet, allowing users to exchange Libra through Messenger, WhatsApp, or a standalone app. We don't know which businesses will accept Libra yet. I suppose that both Uber and eBay will, because they're both members of the Libra Association. Libra doesn't launch until 2020, but that doesn't mean people aren't already fretting about the whole affair. Facebook has promised that it won't use payment data to target adverts, but people don't trust Facebook for notorious reasons. And regulators are frowning upon the move. France has underlined that only governments can mint money, and has warned against Libra's potentially nefarious uses. And the Bank of England said that Libra will have to meet very high financial standards to be allowed in the UK. Lawmakers in both the US and the EU are concerned about Facebook's expansion to the financial domain. So for a company which is increasingly depicted as an oversized, unaccountable, arrogant monopoly, is launching a currency really the best way to avoid scrutiny? We'll find out in 2020.